Hi, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, I think, episode 3 of Hear Me Out. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest with us today. Who do we have over here?
I am Danish, Malaysian, Indian, if it even so obvious. And yes.
Yes. Yeah, as I think for those of you who do not know, I think Malaysia, we come from a multicultural country. So we have main three races other than the main three races. We have the Malays, we have the Chinese, we have the Indians, and we have many other races too. So that is why we have our very wonderful guest over here today. So I think a lot of you would be wondering what will be our topic for today. I think it's a very interesting topic that can be shared to the people of different background, because I think a lot of people will not have this exposure if they come from family of a different financial opportunity, different exposure. So today's topic is all about public universities in Malaysia. Right. Yes. So Danesh, which public university did you actually go to?
So myself, I went to University of Malaya. So technically ranked number 1 in Malaysia.
That is right.
It's just technically ranked number 1 public university in Malaysia.
Right, correct.
But yes, so I went there. I'm not a recent graduate, so I went there quite a number of years ago. If I'm not mistaken, I graduated the year of 2021. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to share a little bit more about University of Malaya? How do you usually, in the past it's called University Malaya. I think in the past there's a different name for it, right?
No, actually, it's yes. Okay, not exactly a University Malaya historian. Yes, I do recall University Malaya had a different name, but from I think during induction they covered this. University Malaya and NUS used to be the same university.
In what?
NUS.
NUS.
National
University
of
of Singapore. Is it?
They used to be the same.
I see. Okay.
And then they broke off, and then they formed. They basically the faculty is the same. This place is the same, but then they used to be linked with NUS. And then after that, they decided to break off, and they became University of Malaya instead.
I see. Okay, that is very interesting. Okay, that's the thing that I like about having this topic where all these informations where, like I said, people of different industry, people of different background will not know about all these things because we were not there. And this is the thing that I hope you'll spill more throughout our 1.5 hours story sharing over here. Yeah. So I think coming back to public university, do you want to share a little bit more about what you study and how was your journey transitioning into public university? Because I think in Malaysia, for those of you who do not know, for Malaysians we have private university, we also have public universities, and the one that Danesh went is actually a public university, and the one I went was actually a private university. So I think mainly we wanted to show what is actually the difference between the public and also the private university in Malaysia. So maybe Danesh, you want to share a little bit more about your transitioning? How did you actually started off your journey in UM? Did you started off after high school, and then what is next?
Okay, so I think I'm guessing most of you are Malaysians who are watching. So just to give you the general structure, so we have obviously the primary school, secondary school. Then from there we have a general idea about pre-university. From there we enter the university, and then from there we have postgraduate. So at the high school level, it's all generally the same. We follow the same structure of PT3, I think now, PT3, and then SPM. You do that when you're 17. From there you dictate what is the approach that you wish to take for your tertiary education. So myself, I took the purely governmental route. So from my understanding, there's 2 primary government routes to take for your tertiary education. One is STPM, which you effectively enter a syllabus similar to SPM, I guess, but just in a much higher level. So you still, in terms of at least the place in itself, you still go back to an actual school, from my understanding, and then from there you learn. There is a 2 years program, or there's also an accelerated
1.5 years.
1.5 years program. From there you have your papers and you take, and similarly you get your results like your SPM.
STPM and Form 6 is the same actually, right?
Really, I think it should be the same.
Okay.
I think it's the same. I don't think there is a different. Maybe in terms of the syllabus is different. I guess it depends on the place, because from what I understand, like similar with SPM, certain schools have certain syllabus they offer. Some schools offer specific, because when I see the registry of all the subjects and papers you're allowed to take, certain schools have they have extra papers which we have never seen. Because to give you some context, myself and Yiping study in the same school, same batch.
Yep.
So that's why in our school we don't have certain subjects specific. Like for example, they have Japanese language subjects which we do not cover in our school. So, but the idea is generic. Okay, you do your STPM. You do your SPM. You complete that. From there, you dictate what is your next year
Career path,
career
Tertiary,
path. Yeah, but mostly it's just tertiary education is generally quite basic. It covers a lot, so including STEM, non-STEM. So it depends on what you want to take.
Yeah.
So for me, at least I wouldn't say ultimatum, but sort of the approach that my family took was government first. If we get, and then if not, we approach the private sector. So at that time was Sunway was in consideration. But generally the idea was that if you score well enough, you will enter the government system. From there, you can complete your tertiary education. And this I'll come back to later because it's a very important point. It is not necessarily an open, I would say it's not exactly an easy opportunity, I would say, to just enter the government system.
Yes.
Because there's quite significant benefits actually to the government system as opposed to the private sector, specifically financially.
Yeah, definitely. I do not deny the fact of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you're saying so mainly they are before you enter into your tertiary education, you actually have the primary tertiary education, which is your STPM, and the one that you actually went, it's matriculation.
Yes.
Okay.
So Malaysian matriculation. What is Malaysian matriculation, right? So Malaysian matriculation is basically like an accelerated program whereby we cover primarily similar subjects as the STPM, and what they cover is actually more similar with A levels.
Okay.
Because I had a friend who was doing his A levels, our batch again. So he was doing A levels around that time.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I meet up and all, he's the type to study everywhere. So I used to go and see the syllabus. It's very similar to the subjects they cover, but it's just they don't go to the same extent as we don't go. Matriculation do not go to the same extent
as A level.
As A levels. So for example, we have like 12 subjects. Again, for example, take physics, right? We have actually there's a lot of chapters. There's 36 chapters that we cover in physics in matriculation. If you know, you know. So
Ganesh.
yes, 36.
Okay.
So I took STEM, by the way. So if you take 36, we do not go into, because of sheer volume. Imagine 36 subjects, 9 months. It is not possible for you to cover everything in detail, understand every single nuance and philosophy there is in physics. And these are sort of a step up from SPM. SPM, there's only 8 chapters as opposed to 36. So we are so you can imagine the volume.
Yes.
So STPM, they cover lesser chapters, but they cover to a greater depth.
I see.
A greater nuance.
I see. Okay.
Because when I see the approach that they take, especially the sort of questions, it's so much more. Ours is very much, matriculation is very similar with SPM. So SPM is very direct, the questions. There's not much of at least now I think they still call it K-Bar or HOTS.
HOTS question.
It's more our time was
critical
more,
thinking questions.
Correct.
Critical thinking.
It was more transitioning there. I'm not sure where is it now, but at least in my experience, metrics is not as extensive as A levels. A levels requires a bit more of a. You need to be more. You have to put more effort to understand it.
So just to summarize, so pretty much for government, public universities, before you enter a degree level, what is that called? The
Pre-university.
Pre-university level. Pre-university level for public, there is Form 6, or maybe it's called STPM, and that's matriculation.
Yes.
And this is for public universities. But when it comes to private universities, pre-university education is actually A levels.
There's also like programs like OSMAT.
That's different.
IB.
Correct. But I think the main general one that a lot of people talk about is A levels, and then Form 6, STPM, and matriculation. So actually, all this is actually the same level, pre-university. It's just that one is public, one is public, one is private. Correct.
But to be fair, the A levels, especially specifically A levels, if your GPA in the A levels carries quite some weight in the universities globally, as opposed to matriculation.
Is that?
Yes. So your matriculation GPA, even though it's fantastic, some universities don't recognize. Some international universities don't recognize it. So you cannot use that to apply. You're not gonna use your matriculation to apply to Harvard or something. It's not gonna work.
But
you can use your A levels. I'm not sure about Harvard, but I know some
Yeah.
of the guys that our schoolmates as well. They have entered some of the
Yeah.
really good universities in Europe.
We have Edinburgh University, Yale,
Yes.
University of Melbourne. Okay, we're proud of our friends, aren't we?
Correct. LSE, incredibly smart
Yes.
individuals. Work very hard.
Yeah, London School of Economy. Yeah.
Correct.
Anyway, but so yeah.
Roping it back.
Yeah. So mainly, yeah. So just to point out that for those of you who don't know, I think A levels comes from a private university, but it actually allows you to actually go worldwide, international. But when it comes to going for public universities, it might actually possibly limit you to only universities in Malaysia. But that also depends. If nowadays, if you really shine, there's definitely a way for you to put yourself out there internationally, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you went to matriculation. So matriculation is how long?
9 months.
9 months. Okay.
The thing about matriculation is, at least for those who are on the pulse of Malaysian education, at least in terms of the news and so on, it is incredibly difficult to get. At least from what I read now, especially if, to be specific, like Keeping has brought up, we have 3 races, right? So specifically, if you are non-Bumi, so regardless, non-Bumi lah basically. So if you're Sabah Sarawakian or if you're Malaysian born Muslim, you should be fine. It is difficult, but there is still a barrier. But because we practice in Malaysia something called a bit of a quota system. There is a quote for a number of students from which backgrounds to enter universities, and also in this case matriculation as well. So this is to make sure there is a certain balance in terms of how much, what is the weightage of it. The idea is they have a general weightage of how much the population will reflect. The general population should reflect the population in the university. That is the idea behind it, from my understanding. But because of that, the level of scrutiny applied to specifically non-Burmese is quite high. So because of that, at least you can Google this thing yourself. You can see Star newspaper, especially recently, you effectively cannot gain any A minus. No A minus tolerated. So everything is A or A plus. And in my batch, at least because I have some information, I guess you could say that, from Putrajaya before my time. So generally how they look at it is, actually they will take, at least at that time, they used to take your percentages, because the government has your actual percentage. Like in our SPM slip, by the way, we only have like the grade, A minus A, but they will have the actual percentage. So they will take the averages of, at least if you're entering through STEM, because matriculation has both.
Percentage of the field that you want to be in. What percentage?
No, percentage of the marks.
Oh, okay.
So
throughout your high school marks, or just
the
SPM
marks.
Okay.
So for example, if let's say both of us get 80, 85, they are both A's, but my A would carry a higher weight.
I see.
Because if you look broad spectrum at the nation's population of that specific batch of SPM students, you cannot just use A as sort of a benchmark. We have to go into the percentiles, because everything has to go through a bell curve. So if you're in the top end of the bell curve, so because of that they use the specific percentages to basically filter out the better versus the good, effectively. So what they would do, for my time, what I understand for STEM specifically, so there's few modules in matriculation.
What is STEM?
STEM. Oh, science, technology, engineering, and
maths.
Oh,
okay.
Another information. She's not in STEM. She's in finance.
I'm in a financial economic background.
So a lot of people, this is the thing I have against even my own friends. A lot of them are not in STEM. Some of them are, but most of them are all in finance, consultants, in this and that. A lot of them did not choose the STEM route. Even those who are STEM related are mostly all programmers. So they are not full blown engineers. Very few scientists, no mathematicians. That's all. It's a dying industry.
It's tiring. Okay.
Nobody enjoys STEM anymore. But that's neither here or there. But so we have modules for matriculation. We have, I think, module 1, 2 reserved for the sciences, and then module 3. I think there's only 3 modules. Module 3 is reserved for those who wants to pursue law, pursue accounting. So they have subjects specific to that. I'm not sure exactly the subject, but module 1 and module 2 was very familiar. So I went applying in. So you don't apply to the modules, but you apply to the they call it the line, science or arts.
see. Okay.
Similar with SPM, we have your science and your arts,
Art
right?
streams, yeah.
So we have your art stream, your science stream. So I applied to science.
Okay.
So they will, from my understanding, they will take your percentages from the sciences. So your top 5. So your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology. They'll take the percentages, average it out, and then they across the bell curve, top certain percentile for the code they have for the year, for whatever demographic you fall in, that you'll be selected or not.
I see. Okay.
So for those who thinking you can just apply to matriculation, it's not that easy. So there is an application process, by the way. So but to be very specific, I don't want to give any information on that. I suggest you go see your school counselor. They will know much more on this. Even my school also, when I wanted to apply to matriculation, I went and approached my counselor, and then she is the one who directed me to the website, because you have to register, I think, before your SPM or something like that.
Is it?
Yes. So after your SPM, the results automatically tally. Because if you don't apply, you're not going to get. Guaranteed you're not going to get. Obviously, because you're not applying, because you're not interested.
I see.
Correct.
Okay, that's something that everybody should be aware
You have
about.
to apply to get in. Okay, they won't just offer you a random letter saying congratulations, you get matrix.
But I just didn't know the part where you have to apply before.
Yeah, I did before.
I see.
From what I remember. Again, some of the information can be a bit foggy because I'm quite old now. So I applied when I'm 17. I'm 26 right now. So
You just publicly exposed my age, actually.
right. Yeah, 26. So
Yeah.
10 years gap. So a bit hazy there, but I do remember applying before SPM. So that's why we get the SPM results roughly. We will know if you get matrix or not. I was a bit worried, not to brag, but I did get straight A's. But even then, I knew it was not going to be easy. So I managed to get matrix. So okay, again, an interesting thing about matrix is each state has a different matrix.
Okay.
So there's metric colleges. I think it's colleges, like it's not pre-university. So it's college. We call it metrics. So the state is followed by, at least in Bahasa Malaysia. So I went to Malacca.
Okay.
It's college.
Yeah.
KMM. So it's like College Matrikulasi Malacca. So it's College Matrikulasi Penang, College Matrikulasi Selangor, so on. So these are the states that we have in Malaysia. So it depends on which state you get. This is also very important because you don't know what state you will get. You cannot choose. It's not a choice. So I got offered Malacca and I went because Malacca is not that far from my house. And also, fun fact, my sister also went to Malacca. I have 2 siblings, both also got into matriculation. One was in I think Ipoh. One is in Ipoh, so I think they use matriculation Gopeng for Ipoh, and then my elder sister and myself went into Malacca for our matriculation studies. So I got offered module 1. So this is the full science package. The number of subjects, I think I can't remember the exact number, but they cover biology, chemistry, mathematics, physics, obviously, and then there's the others. There's a few other subjects you take, but not many. Matriculation subjects are not a lot.
Okay.
Because the idea is it's an accelerated program into the university, so they don't cram you too much with the diversity of subjects, but they do cover extensively to some degree the subjects. So if you're in sciences, they only focus on science. There is no extra third-party subjects you have to take. So generally, when you enter your module, you will stick to your module.
Yeah. So I think for those of you, just to highlight, right? So I think matriculation is pretty much similar to A-Level Express. Yeah, that's why they speed up the process of pre-university. Yeah, it's a similar sort of
seriously?
it's like sort of like a similar thing. Because usually A-Levels is like 2 years, but if it's A-Level Express, it's I think something like 1 year or 9 months too. Because I actually almost took the route remember back then I almost became a lawyer and then, that's the thing. Yeah, so I actually went for A-Level Express for a while, so I roughly know a little bit of it. So A-Level Express is the private university version of matriculation.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
How is A-levels?
I only went for a few months, so I don't really have the right to say. But my A-Level Express that I experienced, it was so intensive. I got stressed out myself that
Really?
Yeah. Off the record, I'll share with you more. Yeah, that actually happened back then. Yeah, so I knew a little bit about A-Level Express. So back then I didn't know that's A-Level Express, but upon that journey that I had, then only I knew that's actually A-Level Express. But yeah, actually, for those who, I think it's actually quite interesting thing where for those of you who can actually cope, you can actually also go for A-Level Express now. But it's just that the stress is really intensive. But
the
yeah.
price. And the price.
Yes, yeah. Coming back to the price exactly.
Yes.
So, what is the price comparison, especially for matriculation? How much do you pay for it? Since it's a 9 months project, how 9 months period? How much do you pay for it?
This is going to be baffling. Okay, so I'm curious how much A levels cost generally. The full program.
To be frank, I didn't pay for it, so I didn't see the price.
Oh,
But
you
it's
didn't see
definitely
the
about 50k. Or more
At your
than
time it was at our time
Yeah.
it was about 50.
I think
30
so.
to 50 like
Yeah,
30
yeah.
to 50
30
in
to
the ballpark,
50
right?
lah,
Because
yeah.
again, it depends on the university you go.
Yeah.
Indy, Help, Sunway,
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
So it depends really on the Utah. So it depends on the university.
Yeah, the one that he said just now are the few famous private universities in Malaysia that a lot of people actually goes to. Yeah.
For matriculation, I remember. So we break it down to 2 semesters. Total, if I'm not mistaken, 1,002.
That includes accommodation.
Everything included.
Damn. That includes your stationaries. Do you still get stationery?
Stationery, no stationeries. It's 1,200 ringgit for 9 months of education. No, they're not covering your stationeries. No.
But accommodation is
Lodging
provided.
is provided.
Lodging is provided.
Okay, so there is a bit. Matriculation is very different from private university, pre-university,
Mm-hmm.
because it's treated not like a pre-university
Mm-hmm.
endeavor. It is treated more like a asrama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your like a compound.
You have to live in.
Correct. You cannot leave, and also you cannot leave during the week.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought you're given like 1 month, one.
No, we do during the week.
Okay.
So-
like Monday to Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
So if general 7-day week, you're only allowed to leave on Saturday, Sunday. At least depends. Okay, again, it depends on your matriculation. Most matriculation practice this. From I know, at least from my friends who are in different matriculations, they generally practice it across the board. You're not allowed to leave in the weekdays. So if you are in your matriculation, you cannot leave the compound for 5 days. Saturday, Sunday, you can leave certain hours.
What? 7 hours?
Certain hours.
Certain hours.
So they have like a 10 to 5.
Okay.
You can leave within this period.
Okay.
Outside of that, you're not allowed to leave.
Okay.
Okay, because the approach that the matriculation takes is very much like you're here for 9 months. Your only job here is to study. So there is not much emphasis on extracurricular activities. You're not exactly running like, for example, some of you who went to university, you'll know we have many different programs. You know, your blood donation, you have your FESCOM, you have your big events that your university takes place that you get to organize.
Yeah.
And inter-university or even sometimes corporate liaisons will get involved.
Yeah.
No, none of that in metrics. So the emphasis is primarily 9 months. Come and you study.
It's like a boarding school.
Basically,
Yeah.
Basically, it's a boarding school. So they split it across two semesters, effectively, and then you see and they grade it based on a CGPA basis out of 4.
Oh, okay. I guess it's still the same as private.
No, in that sense, yes. I guess it's still the same as private. So primarily, the way they score is purely through
Grading.
final exams.
Oh.
Yeah. So at least in my time, not much is coursework. If I'm not mistaken, in my time, I don't think there's any percentages. Maybe if I'm wrong, also probably about 10% of our actual final grade is coursework.
10, not. What?
10% of the weightage for your final GPA is dependent on your coursework.
Oh, okay.
90% is the final examination. So they have final examination. I think we call it. I'm not sure if they changed the name now. The government likes to keep changing the names of the examinations, but we call it PSPM.
PSPM.
So SPM, we had a P in front.
What is P?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Not judging, but just information.
I don't know why is P plus SPM. There has to be a reason. I don't know what's the reason. I apologize. But that's how they operate. So
Okay.
My matriculation experience is a bit okay, I wouldn't say weird. It's just I took a different approach. I was offered module 1.
Okay.
So includes biology and the rest of the sciences, and I opted out of module 1. So I requested to the college to transfer me. Okay, if you enter matriculation, let's say you get it, okay, you're within the first week, or no, I think the first few weeks, you are allowed. So you follow your course that you are sort of given. So if I got module 1, I followed module 1 classes. They break you up into, again, normal is like a lecture. We have a lecture full of students, about 200 people.
200.
It's a lot.
Okay,
a
yeah,
lot of
okay,
people.
that's similar. Lecture hall. Yeah.
You must understand, matriculation takes in a lot of students across Malaysia. Each state has a matriculation. So the volume of students is very, very high. I don't know the exact number, but it's in the thousands at the very least in a batch. A lot of students. So just in your module 1, generally, and there's multiple lecture halls that we follow. So module 1 have multiple different lecture halls. I very clearly remember the denomination that they used in Malacca. So we have something called S21 P5.
Okay.
So S21 is your lecture hall, and P5 will be like your tutorial.
Okay.
So it's a bit like to give you an example, if you went to high school, your class, S21 is your batch.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, not your batch, your lecture hall. Your lecture hall.
Okay.
So P5 would be your group within the class. So let's say you break your classes. That you have 40 students, you break them across 4 groups, right?
Okay.
So you have 10 per group. That will be your tutorial. But then you enter the same lecture hall as the class.
Okay.
So you have your classes and you have your lectures. You have your classes and you also have your tutorials that you do. Matriculation is basically a full-time job of studying.
Okay.
Yes. I wonder what's your hours like for your pre-university?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. Well, mine it's like depends. Like, so every courses is like 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about yours? I mean, so like
No,
for example,
like
for example, today I have economic classes. So these classes for the week, I will have like 2 hours today, Monday 2 hours, and then Wednesday 2 hours, and then like Friday 2 hours.
But on like a daily basis, on a day-in basis. So from for example Monday, how many hours classes you have?
60.
60. Oh, okay, that's pretty general.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, pretty general. Yeah.
Pretty general. Okay, so matriculation we generally start at 8 sharp to 4.
Nice.
Every single day.
Okay, I think we're gonna stop here for a while. We're just gonna take a break. So far, we've talked about matriculations.
Yes.
Again, we're gonna come back again with more information, and we're gonna move on towards universities level.
University next.
Yes. See you guys in the next part 2 of Hear Me Out of Public Universities. Thank you.